Hey guys, and welcome to the Batcave. Now, obviously, the Riddler is one of Batman's most iconic villains. He has been portrayed in a variety of ways, in a variety of formats. From the loud and flamboyantly insane version portrayed by Jim Carrey in Batman Forever, all the way to the character obsessed with puzzles in Batman the Animated Series. Contrast that with the upcoming portrayal by Paul Dano in the Matt Reeves Batman movie, where it looks like he has more in common with a chilling serial killer such as the Zodiac Killer than he does with a villain from a comic book. But the beauty of this character is he can be all these different versions, but at his core, still be the same Riddler. He has been around since 1948, and that in itself should be enough to tell you how fantastic this character is. And today we will be covering his full and most commonly accepted story. Let's get into it. Born as Edward Nygma, or sometimes Edward Nashton, as some people have suggested, he changed his name to Nygma purely so his name would be Enigma. Great pun. It's likely that Edward's path towards darkness began as a child. After he had scored high scores on some school tests, his father, who likely couldn't comprehend that his son was a literal genius and far smarter than him, beat him. This left Nygma with a strong desire to always prove his innocence. It's a desire that manifests itself in the form of riddles, a way of telling facts, but with a touch of dark mystery. As he grew older, he opened a carnival booth that involved a rather diabolical puzzle. The customers would come to complete and solve a puzzle for prize money, but if they failed to do so, they would have to pay Nygma a small fee for competing. In every case, Edward rigged the puzzle in advance to ensure that the customers would always fail. In reality, not too dissimilar to many carnival activities, I would imagine. Then, after becoming dissatisfied with the small income he was receiving from this puzzle, he decided that he would use his wit for bigger crimes and outsmart the law. He made the decision to essentially turn his puzzle template into the blueprint for his career in crime, committing puzzling crimes that would always result in him emerging victorious over the law. He then donned a green costume fitted with his iconic question mark and began his journey as the Riddler. He was pretty successful at first, starting a wave of new puzzling crimes across Gotham City. Batman soon deducted that the new villain was leaving baffling clues for the law in advance of each crime and began acting on the clues to thwart the Riddler's puzzling crimes, though Nygma avoided capture over and over again. The Prince of Puzzlers was finally apprehended when he gave the citizens of Gotham City a charade clue in which he anticipated would draw huge crowds to the Gotham Museum, where Nygma planned to steal some Egyptian artifacts and escape in the crowd. However, this plan was ruined when Batman and Robin arrived and captured him before he could make his getaway. Now, this is obviously a pretty generic summary of how he started out his career in crime, but as he has been involved in so many stories over so many different continuities across the last 70 to 80 years, it's pretty difficult to give you one cohesive story. So that was a fairly commonly accepted intro into his life, but now going forward, we will be going through some of the prominent appearances and what happened in them. They may be from separate universes or continuities, but that doesn't really matter. It's all the same character and can all be used as inspiration for the upcoming Batman movie. In the very popular storyline Hush, it's revealed that the Riddler had been suffering from cancer. He used Ra's al Ghul's Lazarus Pit to rid himself of the disease, but this exposure to the pit left him having a psychotic break. During this, he deduced Batman's secret identity and figured out that Jason Todd was once Robin. He then told Clayface to impersonate Jason in order to torment Batman, who was haunted by the former Robin's death. Batman first thought that Riddler had stolen Jason's corpse and hid it outside of Gotham Cemetery, but it turned out that Jason was alive the whole time. When the Riddler threatened to reveal Batman's identity, the Caped Crusader mocked the threat as harmless, stating that if Riddler revealed the answer to the riddle, "Who is Batman?" it would become worthless, something that the Riddler would not be able to stand. He hadn't even told Clayface Batman's true identity when he was posing as Jason, the one thing that really would have sold the plan, making the impersonation perfect. And he only told Hush because he absolutely had to. In addition, Batman warned the Riddler that if he revealed his secret, it would tell Ra's al Ghul that he used the Lazarus Pit without his permission, and the League of Assassins would subsequently retaliate against him, something that nobody wants. Now, the Riddler was involved in a ton of stories in the aftermath of this, from Batman, Gotham Knights, and Detective Comics, but for the sake of keeping this video watchable, let's jump ahead to the Riddler's appearance in the New 52 launch. In 2011, the redesigned version of the Riddler appeared as an Arkham inmate with a green question mark shaped mohawk. Later on, when the Joker hijacks Arkham Asylum, Riddler is depicted as a current inmate, calmly biding his time and taunting guards. But when Joker reveals his great respect for Riddler as the villain whose dangerous intellect has kept Batman sharp, he uses Joker gas to force the Riddler to prove that he could have escaped his cell anytime he wanted. To his credit, he does this, and is surprised when the Joker shares with him his plan to ambush Batman. Joker admits that Riddler will have little part in his designs, but should stick around anyway to enjoy the show. After the Batman is subdued by Joker, Penguin, Two-Face, and Riddler, the Joker then proceeds to lock the other rogues in a trap to prevent any of them killing Batman. Although the Riddler is able to quickly decipher and escape, he unfortunately succumbs to a tranquilizer that the Joker had previously given him to neutralize his ability as an escape artist. The Riddler is later apprehended after the defeat of the Joker, along with Penguin and Two-Face. Now, it's this next appearance in the New 52 that I find the most interesting, and, well, most relevant to what's coming later this year. The Riddler later appears as the primary antagonist for both the second and third chapters of the Zero Year storyline. In the canon, the Riddler is Batman's first masked supervillain, who is not only able to best Batman twice, but is also able to completely take control of Gotham, causing it to become a flooded wasteland where only the intelligent will survive. Although the Riddler continues to be steps ahead of the Dark Knight, he is eventually defeated by the combined efforts of Batman, Commissioner Gordon, and Lucius Fox before he could truly destroy Gotham as originally intended. He is later moved to Arkham Asylum. Now, does any of this seem familiar to you guys? One quick look at the trailers for the Batman, and we see a Riddler as a masked villain, outwitting the Batman, and we also see a Gotham City that is flooded with water. Perhaps the Zero Year storyline has been a huge inspiration for Matt Reeves and his story. It's not long now until we finally get to find out what sort of part it had to play on his story. Then moving on to the DC Rebirth version of the character. We don't really get too many main story appearances from him, however he is involved in a pretty big moment. In a storyline called The War of Jokes and Riddles, Batman retells an early conflict between the Riddler and the Joker. Finding that the Joker had lost his sense of humour, Riddler orchestrated a war between them to help him regain it. Among the villains that join him are Two-Face, Poison Ivy, Scarecrow, Clayface, Killer Croc, Deathstroke, Firefly, and Victor Zsasz. Eventually, Batman sides with Riddler's crew and helps defeat Joker's gang. However, he and Kite Man arrange for the villains to be captured using gliders designed for the group. With his motivations finally out, Batman finally loses control and decides to murder the Riddler for the pain in which he has caused Gotham. However, Joker stopped him at the last moment, causing him to finally regain his lost sense of humour. Now, although this has been a little bit of a jigsaw puzzle of the Riddler's stories, mixing and matching different versions of his appearances, I hope it does give you a better understanding of the character. Something I actually really want to do on this channel is take deeper dives into different versions of different characters. So for example, giving you a full story of the Riddler from Batman the Animated Series or the Arkham games, stuff like that. Let me know if that's something you guys would be interested in seeing and which characters and which versions of those characters you want me to prioritize. Let me know in the comments down below. Again, I want to thank you all for the support you've shown this channel so far. We hit 3,000 subscribers in less than 10 days of this channel existing, which is absolutely insane, so I can't thank you enough. Anyway, that is it from me today, my friends. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and please return to the Batcave for more Bat content.